Well, darling, there's only one God. Darling, there's only...
Welcome to the Dirty Bag Podcast. I'm your host, Cookie, and as always, thank you for tapping in with me with this special edition of the Midweek Cookie Crumble. So I ain't did one of these in a while, but there's something that's been sitting on my heart that we need to talk about, and that is the lonely creative, the lonely artist, the lonely entrepreneur. So recently, I watched Megan Thee Stallion's documentary. I'm gonna be honest with you, it made me want to fight y'all all over again. Let's talk about going through struggles when you are taking off and when you are popping off in whatever it is you do. You don't even have to be a select. Hold on, first of all, I feel like my wig is sliding. Is it sliding, y'all? Okay. If it is, whatever, just pretend. If it's sliding, it ain't sliding. Okay? Supposed to be locked in. So I watched this girl's documentary, and I realized why I feel this connection to her. I feel like Megan Thee Stallion is like my daughter or my little sister, because I ain't that damn much older. I'm older than her, but, you know. But she had two very tragic events right as her career was taking off. And that was, this girl lost her father her freshman year of high school. And she was not, according to her, she really couldn't grieve because she had to be strong for her mother. So imagine your freshman year of high school, you are suffering this. He had a heart attack, so this was unexpected. But you as a child can't process your feelings because you have to show up for an adult. If you don't know what that's like, and if you've never lost a parent at a young age, it's very strange. I feel like children process things. We tend to not show as much emotion as adults. And I say this because I lost my mom the end of my 8th grade year, so the end of middle school. And I literally got up the next morning and went to school. And I went to school because I wanted to be around my friends. And I'm going to tie this in. So she's being strong for her mother. Her mother is her rock. That is the person that rode for her, that just really helped her jumpstart her career. She was her manager, her assistant, her hype man, all these things. And she ends up losing her mother, and she ended up having to pull the plug because her mother had like an aneurysm and just was brain dead. She ended up, again, we're talking about a young 20-something. Just as Big Old Freak is taking off, she has to make a decision for her person's life. So this is trauma on top of trauma, right? And what happens when you lose the most important figures in your life at a young age is you do attach yourself to your friends. You listen to your friends more than anybody. Especially when you have a friend that's like a parent, which you can see Kelsey, her best friend, was like a parent. She hopped in and did the same things her mother did. So when you cling to your friends after a very traumatic event, you trust them with everything. That's literally your person. So for her to go through that, meet Tory Lane's bald-headed Keebler elf, fucking me lucky charm, taste the rainbow head ass, and this becomes her instant friend, and for what happened to happen to her and the world turn on her, I'm going to be honest with y'all, that girl is owed at least 4 or 5 crash outs. So what I want to say is sometimes we go through all these traumatic events and we are not allowed to just be human because of who we are and because of what our status is. As Black women, the more successful you get, the least amount of people tend to not have much grace for you. It's almost like punishment for you making something out of your life that people can't wait for an opportunity, especially when you are super confident, to tear you down. So sometimes these super confident, successful girls you know, and I'm not even talking celebrity, and people that you know in everyday life, they tend to go through the craziest silent battles. And nobody understands, and you can't even really trust anybody because you got to be strong. So I'm looking at this like this girl lost her father her freshman year of high school. She lost her mother in her early 20s. That's the time. Those are the two pivotal times in your life where you really need guidance. So let's I tie everything into my life. So yes, I lost my mother at 14. I lost my grandmother who was taking care of me, my grandparents afterwards, less than a year later. It was like 9 months later. She got very sick. So old men don't know what to do with young girls when you're becoming a teenager, the last person you need to be raised by is your grandfather. He don't know what the hell going on. You got a period now. You got a body. You like boys. You're trying to figure things out. And again, you're trying to figure out a loss. I didn't truly grieve my mother or my grandmother until I became a mother. So that was when I was 19. So I didn't get a chance to grieve until I went off to college and I had a child. Because once you become a parent, now you're thinking about all the things you're missing. You don't know what the hell you doing. So I resonate with that type of loss, but also what watching that documentary showed me is that like I didn't really get a chance to really process my stuff. Because what you're doing is you get into work mode. Like, all right, I don't have these people in my life anymore. So I got to figure this shit out. As opposed to, you know what, this child needs to be allowed to process their feelings. They need to be babied right now. Like, who is the mother in this situation? Who's going to father them? And some of us don't always have that luxury, and I was one of those people. So let's tie it into how I operate now. I had to realize that I'm somebody that gives out the type of treatment that I want and that I need in return, and I expect that from people, and when I don't get it, I'm disappointed. So I've realized that there have been times in my life where in my friends, I did things for them because I was low-key looking for a parent. Because I was low-key parenting them. I've always been the strong friend. I've always been the person that gives advice. I'm always the person that, or I used to be the person that comes in when somebody's heartbroken, when somebody's fake, when there's drama. I was the type of friend that if my girl had an issue with you, if she had smoke with you or you had a problem with her, at this point, you got a problem with both of us because what is it? We a package deal. And that's not always healthy because people will not always ride for you that way. And sometimes they ain't even as mad as you are. So you looking crazy. You done just took on this battle and hopped into this war that's non-existent. But it's just one of those things you do when you've suffered a lot of losses. You become the thing that you need. And it took me years to realize that's what I was doing. So the flip side is when you realize that and you don't get that reciprocity, you go the complete left. Y'all, I have been the most selfish person in the world the past year. I've been somebody I don't necessarily recognize. I don't answer the phone all the time. I don't show up all the time. I don't sit on the phone all the time. I don't take on people's problems anymore. And it's not because I'm some cold-hearted bitch. It's just I spent the majority of my life giving out what I needed and not always getting what I needed in return. So when you refuel, people suffer. So my apologies to anybody that just met me and is like, what is wrong with this girl? The first sign that you don't rock with me the way I'm trying to rock with you, I'm gonna let your ass go. So the cookie that crumbles over here is learning balance and learning that when you deal with people, where is it coming from? Your actions towards people, your good deeds, where is it coming from? Of course, yes, I want to be a good person, but also it's because I'm hoping that you're going to fill this void for me as I'm trying to show up for you. And that's not good because nobody should have to carry that burden for you. Therapy, people. And by the way, my old therapist just popped up as one of my people you may know on Facebook. So I don't know if that's God's sign that I need to get back in therapy. It probably is. But I see you, girl. I see your locks done got longer. Tasha, I see you. I want to talk to you again. So yeah, watching her documentary, my heart went out to her, but it also reminded me that a lot of us have that similar struggle, that we just trying to make it out here and we want to be the best we can, but sometimes you can surround yourself with the wrong people when you don't deal with your trauma and your loss and you don't grieve people properly. I started drinking very heavily the bigger losses I suffered. I know that she did too. Y'all remember when Megan first came on the scene and when every time you saw her, she was driving the boat, like she was getting everybody toe up. And now you could see why. And why she was always drunk is because that was her way of processing her grief. She just did it in a way that ended up not working out for her. I do believe the night she got shot, they were all drunk off their ass. I definitely believe she was talking some mad shit to Tory that set him off because the little Keebler elf is violent. We saw him punch August Alstina. Well, we didn't see it, but he punched him for simply not dapping him up and not really saying hi to him. So I say to every girl, like when you suffer major losses and you have major life events, give yourself time. You probably need to stay away from people for a while. Just so you can figure it out, because folks will take advantage of you. And to know that your day ones can turn on you. To see her and Kelsey go from that, and that dick will always, in a lot of situations, it will be the dividing factor between friends. It shouldn't be that way, but it goes to show that sometimes your day ones have a cost. They can be bought. They got a price. So keep good people around you, but also don't be afraid to make adjustments. I don't care. I used to be a longevity person. I've known this person since I was 5. I've known this person since I was 10. So even though I know the friendship is over, we have outgrown each other. You add nothing of value in my life. But I'm gonna stay here and we're gonna keep going around this same circle because of familiarity. No. People say no new friends. No, sometimes new friend me, please. When I'm in a new chapter in my life and what I had here can't come with me as bad as I want you to come, you got to go. I talked about this before about how when I won my first award last year, I thought it was just going to change everything, but I was actually very sad because the people that started with me, I realized they're going to finish with me. That's life. So take care of your traumas, take care of yourself, and when you need to, it's okay to grieve. Grieve properly so that you don't turn around making really fucked up life decisions. That's all I got for y'all today. So whatever we got going on, wear your mask, wash your hands, socially distance, and when you get a free moment, please remember to clean out your dirty bag. Till next time.
Well, darling, there's only one